May 28, 2023, Pentecost Sunday. Jesus promised his disciples that he would not leave them alone and that he would send the Spirit. Today, we celebrate the feast of this gift of the Risen One. While John places the outpouring of the Spirit on the day of Easter to show that the Spirit is the gift of the resurrected Jesus, Luke places the descent of the Spirit at Pentecost. Pentecost was a very ancient Jewish holiday, celebrated 50 days after the feast of the Passover. It commemorated the arrival of the people of Israel at Mount Sinai, where the law was given. Luke wants to teach that the Spirit has replaced the old law and has become the new law for Christians. Here's what the law of the Spirit is. It is the new heart. It is God's life. When it enters into a person, it transforms them, and from bramble they become a fruitful tree, able to spontaneously produce the works of God. When a person is filled with the Spirit, something unheard of happens in them. They love with the love of God Himself. From that moment on, they do not need someone to teach them. They won't require another law. John comes to say that those animated by the Spirit became even incapable of sinning. Those born of God do not sin, for the seed of God remains in them. They cannot sin because they are born of God. And the thunder, the wind, the fire? In the book of Exodus, these phenomena accompanied the gift of the old law. All the people witnessed the thunder and lightning and heard the blast of the trumpet and saw the mountains smoking. The rabbis said that at Sinai, on the day of Pentecost, when God gave the law, His words took the form of 70 tongues of fire, indicating that the Torah was destined to people, all people. Luke uses the same imagery for the gift of the Spirit, the new law. If he wanted to be understood, he had to use the same images. And the many languages spoken by the apostles? Probably, Luke is referring to a very common phenomenon in the early church. After receiving the Spirit, the believers began to praise God in a state of exaltation. As if in ecstasy, they uttered strange words in other languages. Luke used this phenomenon in a symbolic sense to teach about the universality of the church. The Spirit is a gift meant for all peoples. Faced with this gift of God, all barriers of language, race, and tribe collapse. On the day of Pentecost, the opposite of what happened at Babel, where people began to misunderstand and to distance themselves from each other, the opposite occurred. Here, the Spirit puts into action a reverse movement, bringing together those who are scattered. Whoever lets themselves be guided by the word of the gospel and by the Spirit speaks a language that everyone understands and that everyone joins in. The language of love. It is the Spirit who transforms humankind into one family, where all are understood and all love each other.